In case you missed out on the first part, we talked about how you look attracts us and makes us look. Number 2, how you dress.
It's normal. People will not want to say that's the truth, but all of us, ladies, before they step out, they want to be sure they are dressing good.
You need to ask yourself, or the ladies need to tell themselves, how do you know character before you talk to someone? Or how do you know character that they have brains before you talk to them? You are first attracted by the physical.
Yes, good evening. My name is Likuyani. Early welcome to the show. Sorry for the delays. We are set and ready to go. Tonight, we have a more interesting topic for you in the men's den. And without further ado, allow me to bring in my panelists and my co-host for the show, the gentleman in the house, James Mwathi, all the way in Nairobi, Kenya. Good evening, James.
I'm sorry, but
okay, James seems to be on holiday. Let's bring in Gilbert. Gilbert, if you can hear me, good evening and rather good afternoon to you.
Good evening, Ellie, wherever you are. Thank you for having me this day. I do appreciate. Also, good evening to our viewers and listeners wherever you are. Thank you for tuning in today. I love it that men have started streaming in, and it's a good show that men are waking up. Thank you guys for joining in.
Thank you very much, Gilbert. And for those who are joining us tonight, the topic for the night is foolishly in love. I mean, when we talk about love, it's a big, long story, but let's see if we have James now. James, good evening.
Good evening, Ellie. How are you?
Why are you looking too nice? Can you say hi to the viewers and kindly introduce yourself?
Afternoon, good evening, everyone. My name is James. Like Ellie said,
okay, so Hannah Ramirez is back.
Ellie wants to put me on the spot about initially being in love. Let's see how it goes.
Unfortunately, James, your audio is quite low, so I hope you can be able to sort it out as we continue with stream so that we can hear you more audibly. For the rest of you joining us tonight, make sure to tune in and share your comments with the hashtag @InHeart and be part and parcel of the conversation. So very quickly, I'm going to flash it on your screen so that you can follow through the conversation. In the meantime, invite your friends, share the link, and you know how we do it. Let's be part of the conversation. So, gentlemen, love is a very, very strange thing. But I would like for one of you, if you may, to explain or rather define what you understand by the word love or falling in love. Let's start with the psychologist.
Like I said, you see, even Makomere is laughing. Now, we start by saying that love is an emotion, yeah? Love is an emotion that comes to one when they feel a connection to another human being who they think share some common interests and they are compatible, for lack of a better word. They feel they share compatibility kind of feeling. What do I mean by this? They feel that they can be able to depend on each other, they understand each other, they like each other. Liking is very important in this, in explaining this. And they feel that, especially when we look at love in the romantic sense, they feel that they can be exclusively connected to this one partner. So probably that would be the basic explanation of what love is. Technically, it's an emotion, just like you have anger, you have sadness. It's an emotion.
So love is an emotion. How about you, Gilbert? So what comes to your mind when we talk about love?
To me, love is a development of a strong feeling or attachment.
Yeah.
Usually, it's towards another person. Uh, the term love, to me, I consider it metaphorical, meaning that it's emphasizing the process, like the physical act of falling in love, which is sudden, which is uncontrollable, leaves the lover in a vulnerable state, similar to falling in love, falling in a trap.
Fine, as we define that, let's get to the comment section. Let's find out what other people are defining as love. Kindly share the comments with the hashtag underneath, which is Art in Heart, responding to life, so that we can be able to confine all these messages in one pot. Okay. Very quickly, gentlemen, let's go to the okay, this program is PG rated. Some words might be used and not used for that matter. We say mapenzi ni juice ya ukwaju. Johnny Lefty, thank you so much, Johnny. And this is the second time I'm seeing you on the stream, so thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us. Again, I think later on he said, earlier on he said, love is a pain in the I don't know where. Wycliffe say love is a scam. It's a simple definition. Okay, gentlemen, that is interesting. We have Ken Lawrence. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for tuning in. Yes, unasmailiwa. This is courtesy of Likuyani Eli, the page. We are equally streaming on YouTube and concurrently streaming and responding to live and Tina Kagia's Facebook page. Thank you so much for joining, Ken. James ongea na sauti. So I hope, James, you've heard that. People were complaining about your audio. Let's make sure that you are audible enough. I don't know if you can see this. We are awake. I want to get it. Let's say we are awake. Want to get it deep about the love we are talking about. So, as we sample the rest of the messages, thank you so much, Moises Simolabo, for joining. Thank you, Mise Kibet. Whoa. Roman Mutinda, Patrick Wanjala, Joseph Onami, Saranjojo, Julius Wikulo, Michael Diambo, Awar, Mbia Kimuri, and the rest of you that are there, including Nancy Magia. Thank you so much for equally joining the conversation. And I'm happy that gentlemen are here because we are going to have a gentleman's discussion. But before we do that, allow me to play this simple clip that is going to summarize what we are talking about tonight. Okay, for those who don't understand Swahili, James, kindly break it down if you were able to catch that clip.
No, I let Magomere go first on this.
Magomere, you are in the US. Kindly tell us, how did anybody get to sell their property just to take somebody out of the country? Do you call that love or stupidity, for a lack of a better word?
It's love. It's love. From the simple definition I talked about, I said it's a development of strong feelings of attachment and love usually towards a person. It leaves you vulnerable, in a vulnerable state, similar to like falling in love or falling in a trap. When you are there, like you can't stop, you can't resist, you can't keep yourself, you can't restrain. So the act are pushed by this euphoric feeling of love. It's a feeling, as James said it. So At times we can't control it. So our actions, our imaginations, our our views are pegged on this feeling we call love, which is perceived psychologically in our mind. So irrespective of the actions we take, irrespective of what we do, it's because of the feeling we want to impress. All the time, human beings are impressive creatures. We'll seek to impress the other side for us to continue winning them, because we believe we've developed feelings and we need to continue expressing these feelings. So what do? We impress them. So we can do anything in the name of love.
Well, for a long time, I've had a lot of gossip on the streets that men do not express themselves enough, or men are unable or capable to actually tell what they want when it comes to love. So, how come we always end up looking like victims of circumstance when it comes to how we express our love, especially when it comes to the financial input in a relationship? You think men invest too much into this euphoric feeling of love, James?
No, again, with the fear that I will go all psychology, which I'm really trying not to. But again, we are socialized. How are we socialized? We are socialized not to show feelings, right? We are told a man ni kukaa ngumu. So when it comes to this emotion called love, even though men equally fall in love as much as women do, men will try to express their feelings of love through actions, and that's where the financial spending comes in. Yeah, men are not verbal creatures by nature. We do not have a lot of words to express what we want or what we feel. So we think that if I buy this lady flowers, or if I buy this lady, it's graduated according to your financial capability. If I buy flowers, if I buy a chocolate, if I buy land, if I buy her a car, that should show her that I love her. Yeah. Again, also look at the fact that we are socialized that man is a provider. Yeah. So we think that by fulfilling that role of provision, the woman will translate that to mean that they love her. But there is no difference between the feelings that a man and a woman go through when they're in love. It's just that women are more vocal and more verbal, so they'll be able to express it with words better than men.
Okay, let me just have a rejoinder from Gilbert before we proceed on to the comments, and equally now open up the Pandoran box so that we understand this debate. Do you think we don't express ourselves enough, and probably by spending on the people we deem to love or express our feelings of love, it's one of the ways to show that we love them, Gilbert?
I think love and money have the same effect on our psychology.
And on our psychology, you're referring to men?
Let me say, man, we attach to money the same way we attach to people. They have the same feel-good effect on us. So we tend to, when one is missing, we replace it with the other. That's why we simply think that, not thinking, that's why we simply switch between money. When you think love is missing, you want to use money. When you think money is missing, you want to use love, because have the same effect of attachment on us. We feel when the attachment figure is there, it gives us the comfort. It plays how can I say? I want to use simple terms so that I don't end up sounding different. With it provides comfort. Let me say that by being there physically or psychologically. So we put it to use whenever we feel like love is going down. We fuel it with money. That's why mostly men, because as James said, we are not wired to verbally express. And because this money in attachment has given us that comfort that when we have it, we are okay. It makes us feel good. Psychologically, you feel good when you have money. Of course, you'll use it as a tool of adjustment when you feel you are missing love. And that's why we fall victims of circumstances. No one tells you to do it, but after you've done it, you start blaming yourself you did it. Naturally, we will do it, whether you like it or not unless you have wired to adjust to money in a stingy way. You might have it, but you
Okay,
don't
I
want
want to talk about the stingy debate later on, but let's focus on the philanthropic debate for the moment. And in the meanwhile, Catherine Osita, thank you so much for joining the conversation. Yes, go ahead, James.
No, I wanted to add on to what Gilbert was saying, but I want to bring in another angle. And I talked about socialization, and again, I'll avoid using complicated words, just like Gilbert promises. So I'll also try and break down exactly what I mean. I started by explaining about socialization and how we become who we are. But then let's look at this today's scenario, yeah? Because at times I feel that men, we are pressured into using the money. At times, it is not a conscious wish to use the money. It's the pressure that we are getting from our partners, quote unquote, the people who we are quoting and in love with. Why do I say this? Because we've become a commercial society, yeah. And you will find that this girl who you're dating has a group of friends who are also dating, and they'll go and compare notes. And if you didn't take your girl to Mombasa over Easter or Elementaita or wherever, she's planted with these ideas that you're not loved enough. Yeah. If you're not able to take her to expensive destinations, or you're not able to buy her a smart engagement ring and smart earrings, she starts questioning you. But it is the pressure that she's also getting from out there. She's being told love equates to being treated. So poor young man, if you do not have something in your pocket, you will always be fighting a losing battle, and there'll be that older gentleman who is driving and who can take your girl for holidays and who can so you become just somebody in the periphery. Yeah. So in as much as yes, we are saying we are wired towards using money, but we are also under pressure to use money because of the influence that the girls out there are giving each other and translating that to us. So again, it's a double-edged sword. Yeah, you might have all the right words, you might be very vocal, and you have all the, those words that wanasemanga ilitoa nyoka pangoni. You might be smooth in talk, but is that enough in today's dating world? In today's, when we talk about love today, because we can define it from a psychological point of view, from a human science point of view, but what is today's definition of love from the women? What equates to love from them? Yeah. And I'm sure, again, we can ask our viewers today to define for us what love means. You will find varied reactions. Yeah. Because some believe if you love me enough, then every weekend you should take me to Naivasha. And you will hear when you ask a girl out for a date, she will ask you, unanipeleka wapi? Who said you have to be taken anywhere? It is me and you who we want to sit and talk. It is not about the destination. Yeah.
But Eli,
so things
bro,
become complicated.
Eli, I want James to to let us understand what he's trying to say. You know, we have used money as a measure of love as men. We have monetarized our ladies. We have monetarized how we express love, and we have failed to be true to the calling of love, of expression. We think our expression is through now pumping money, so that when you pump, and you'll find that lady who will tell you, I don't love your money, I want you. If you can't give me attention, maybe if you are living in the wrong society, you have to ask ladies here. There are those ladies who want your love. They don't want your money. If it's money, they have it. And that's
No,
where,
no, no.
listen,
That's where you and I have
listen,
problems.
guys. We
I have to come.
listen. No,
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 I have
no,
to
no,
come.
no.
Okay.
Wait, I
For the
finish my
sake
point.
for the sake of balance. For the sake
No,
of
I have to
balance.
finish my
Allow me to allow James to say one or
No,
two
no,
words,
no, no, no.
and then we go to
Yes.
the
Ellie,
comments,
Ellie,
find out what people are saying over there.
Ellie, you can't
Yes.
shut
To be
down
fair,
my
let
comment
Gilbert finish. To be fair,
because simply
let
because
Gilbert
you don't want me to express my view. It
Okay,
is
go ahead,
clear.
sir. Go ahead.
It is clear. As far as there is that other end, we should also talk about other end of these ladies who have they have been blessed. They have the money. So you won't impress them with money. Money will not be the central focal point of discussion. It will be you how you present yourself, the attention you're giving, and the expression you're doing. When you come there with your money, you're pumping everything, they'll tell you, if it's money, I have it. If it's spending, I know how to spend. So I don't need your love. I need you. And men, we have become so busy doing other things that we have replaced love with money. We have replaced time with money. We have replaced affection with money. But it reaches a point, someone will tell you, enough of this money. Where are you? You are missing in the equation. The same way I say we adjust to money the same way as attachment does. So we have removed, mostly we have removed ourselves in the equation and replaced it with love. So before even a lady shows you that, you are the one who want to show them what money is. And then when you become into, when you are now into a serious relationship, you want to withdraw the money factor and start calling them, this woman just sees money. But you met through money. You showed the money comes first before me. So when
now,
you
can I
start
comment?
changing,
Now, can I comment?
I'm really holding myself because
I have
Gilbert
to jump
really.
in. Now, again, Gilbert, I don't refuse what you're saying. Yeah, not entirely, and I agree with you 100% that there are those women who have their own money, and what they require from you or what they want from you is not money. But then my point is, when you're starting off, you've fallen in love with this lady, or this lady has fallen in love with you. Take it from me that there has to be an aspect of money, even for the money. In fact, and I'm avoiding naming names, but I know some people are watching, and we have had those discussions with them. A lady who is moneyed will be very careful with the kind of men who who try to attach to them, because a married lady will think this guy is a gold digger, or he's out to get my money. So for you to date a lady who has her own money, you have to prove first that you can match her class. You have to prove that if she's able to fly to Dubai every other week, you can be able to do that for her. Otherwise, you'll be joyriding on her money. Yeah. So, in as much, and I agree 100%, it gets to a point in love, if it's true love, that money no longer matters. It becomes now, are you there for me emotionally? What kind of attachment do we have? Are you able to listen to me? Are you able to solve my problems? The money aspect, especially as love grows, fades. But also, again, Ellie, I usually tell people, especially couples, you can't eat love. Yeah. So money still plays a role. You can't be so in love that you want to spend the whole day together, 24 hours,
And when you step out, the lady is angry, you're not giving me attention. While you've gone to look for that money to sustain this relationship, but they want all the attention. You can't eat love. So there has to be a
We
balance.
can't eat love, and I know, gentlemen, we cannot finish that discussion because I want us to discuss the whole point 360 angle, and let's see where it all ends. Because after this clip, this will be the reason why this story will end exactly where you started. So let's take a look. But when we come back, we will be going to what are the most stupid things as a man you've done, and you've looked behind and you said, I did all that because of love. Send your comments in the comment section with the hashtag Art in Heart responding to life and make sure to be part of the conversation. So just that you know, it is all about the money.
I don't mind if you chuck my money, chuck my money, chuck my money, 'cause I don't care.
Yes, you can hear it, no? Chop my money, I don't care. I don't know where it ends, how it will go, but let's find out as we continue with the conversation after this short break. And yes, we are back. We are in the men's den tonight. We are talking about foolishly in love. And when I talk about foolishly in love and we are in the men's den, definitely we are actually focusing on men. But before we continue with this conversation, let's get to the comment section, find out what people are saying over there. We have Benson who says, "Inaitwa mapenzi ni kipofu." Thank you so much, Benson Mwengi Kirui. Sarah Jonjo goes ahead and says, "Thank you, Gilbert. I don't know what you're giving the ladies, but they tend to agree with you." Ibrahim Makale says, "Love is just an affection towards something or someone." And Jakita says, "Money is not necessarily a proof of love." And gentlemen, if you can kindly mute on your end so that I can be able to minimize the echo from my end too. And we have Jakito says, "Money is not necessarily a proof of your love. Acts or actions will show me if you love me or not." Okay, fine. I think we are trying to change the conversation, but we're sticking to foolishly in love. Wycliffe goes and says, "But it's normal poverty has made our girls believe that they need to be paid to be loved." Okay, good one there. Loving the conversation, and it's a real talk. Thank you so much, Don Winston. And again, Wycliffe earlier on said, "Stingy, I love this. That's how I handle it." These ladies don't have love. Don't have love for men. They just love how available you are to their needs, but not love. We finance their stupid decisions. Kwenda Mombasa, kwenda Dubai. Let's find out. Moving to other ones. Thank you so much, Catherine Osita, again for following the conversation. Don't you think that kind of love can enslave someone? And that is, I think, we are referring to the money part of it. But gentlemen, let's cross a little bit away from the money and save it for the best. What are the most stupid decisions you've ever made? And I'm using that stupid in a quote. Thanks to love. Gilbert.
I have very many stupid decisions I've made out because of love, and
It's your time. Go ahead.
I cannot even count them. There are very many. The
Go
fact
ahead.
that we exist under the sun and earth, we are bound to make very foolish mistakes in the name of love. And for me, I'll not be counted out. I've made several. I've sacrificed for love. I've spent money that went down the drain for love. I have changed what I believed in terms of my principle, just to adjust, so that I appear that I'm in tandem with what she believed in, so that we can agree. Yeah. But eventually, it never pleased her, or it was never enough for her. So I don't regret, but I did it. For me, I do it with my conscience, so that when it doesn't turn out as it seemed, I don't regret. I pick my ashes and move on.
I'm not going to ask you the question, James. Go ahead. What is the most stupid thing you've done for love?
Poor Gilbert. I feel for Gilbert. Anyway, I don't know. I think over time, I've been very cautious in terms of my relationships. And over time, I mean, since when I was dating, for example. Yeah. But it did not come automatically. It did not come automatically. I remember, and now this is my personal experience. I don't say everybody goes through this, but I remember very early in my, when when you're starting to date, when you're starting to feel this fuzzy feeling that when you're in love you get. I fell in love with a girl and I put in my all, and by all means sacrificing everything: your time, your money, your other relationships, including with other friends. Yeah. So I put in my all into this relationship, and it was now that I think of it, it was an emotionally abusive relationship. Yeah, because even though I was putting my all, this girl was flip flopping. She would be hot today and cold tomorrow, and it would make me question myself: what did I do? You always blame yourself. What did I do? What did I not do? And we dated for a while, and well, that's in college. We dated for a while, and it's quite some time ago. I remember we had only one FM station then, and then one day I'm hearing special love dedications being sent to this girl by a boyfriend somewhere, Wuko, and I'm like, but I thought this is the girlfriend. I'm the boyfriend. So what's happening here? It's a relationship that I think changed my thinking about dating. Yeah, we eventually broke up, but from there I think I learned to trust less, to take time before I fully emerge into relationships. It changed me, and my view, my perspective on this whole dating and love things. That does not mean that over time, after that first episode, I've not done foolish things, but I've done some foolish things that I am aware of. Not that now I am not aware. I know that I am spending, but I am not spending thinking that there will be some returns. Yeah. So I can say I think I've been a bit careful, and it changed the person I was. Why are you laughing, Ellie? You will make me run away. What is the problem?
I'm just laughing at the fact that you actually had somebody dedicating some interesting
Yes,
love lyrics
it's
to your
amazing,
own
man.
bay, if I call them that.
And everybody,
But
and
but if you
everybody in
thought,
college knows. No, and everybody in college knows this is your bay, this is your one
yeah,
and only. And
yeah,
everybody is coming to ask you, did you hear that? Did you hear that? And you're like, what the hell? So that changed me. And I'm
that's
glad it
changed
happened
you.
early on. Yeah.
Great. Let's read this from Wycliffe again. Thank you so much for being part of the conversation tonight, and kindly remember to use the hashtag @InHearts streaming on your screen. Uh, the most stupid decision I've ever made is spending money on a lady's house rent that I wasn't sure if I was dating her alone. I regret. Can advise men never ever pay a rent for a woman Gilbert.
No, let me
I,
help Gilbert. No, let me help Gilbert. Parent, but don't expect anything in return. Parent because you can and you want to do good, not because she's your woman or because you're expecting any returns. If you have the capacity to parent and parent for, it's just like buying somebody a sweet on the street. If you can afford it, why not? But do not. The problem comes in when you are doing it with the hope that because I've paid the rent, then this is my woman, or I have a right into this house. That is where you go wrong.
Wait. So you pay rent as who? A donor, or what exactly are you as you do that? Because we are trying to see being foolishly in love, and if you can pay attention to your screens, you'll see I'm asking, is love an intoxication? Because I think for you to go to some certain levels, there's something that is happening to your mind that is beyond your control. So
You
who
see,
are you
Gilbert,
paying rent as, James?
you see, Gilbert, sorry, Ellie, you see, and I've qualified that statement by saying if you can, yeah, because let me ask you, Ellie, you meet this lady friend of yours at the shops, and you offer to buy them soda. Are you buying them soda because you're dating?
Bro, how do you compare rent and
No,
soda?
no. It's
Those
a
two
yes or
cannot
no
be put in the
question.
same.
No,
No,
wait.
no,
I'm
that's
not
not the
finished.
way.
Answer
I
me.
don't know who else
Answer
is
me, and then
watching,
I
but if you
will.
agree with James, kindly let me have your opinion. If you
Let me
Yeah.
pay
finish
rent,
the
and this is coming
statement.
from
No,
what
we
Gaddafi
can't
said
do.
earlier on.
Oh, Ellie,
No,
let's allow
I
him finish
disagree with that.
his. Let's
No.
allow
Let me
him
answer.
finish his
Submit,
statement.
make a submission, sir.
I'm saying, and I've qualified that statement. If you have, because let's say rent is 10,000 shillings. Yeah, there are people out here who 10,000 is nothing. Yeah. I've said if you're paying with the intention that she will love you, then that is wrong. That is toxic. If you're paying because you feel this lady, I can help her in one way or the other, I see no problem personally. I see no problem.
Wow.
Ellie,
Gilbert, you want to say something?
Ellie, as we said, we have commercialized love to an extent that we see money as the solution to everything. So even when you're spending, you can do that to your sister. You can do that to your cousin. You can do that to your friend. But when it comes to your girlfriend, the commercial aspect rings in our mind. Why? We do it. You do it because you want. No one coerces you. No one forces you. You can choose not to do it. And still, even she'll still love you or not love you. You can pay and still someone else will be paying for other things as you pay for the rent. So, as James said, do it out of heart. Do it because you want to do it, not because you expect something in return. When you have
Bro,
a
I think you
return
guys are not
effect,
getting and are
Ellie,
diverting
listen.
from our focus.
Ellie, listen. When you go there with an intention of return, if it doesn't happen, you'll be hurt naturally because you are expecting. But when you are not expecting, if it doesn't happen, thank God you had the opportunity. There's no relation that is useless in our life. It taught us something, both positive or negative, if it ended. From it, you learned something. So take it as a lesson. Don't take it as pain, because if you take it as pain, the next person will suffer. Because you'll go there with the mind, I paid and I was left.
Gilbert, let me help Ellie. Ellie is feeling like we've taken over his show.
Not really. You guys are changing the topic.
No. Ellie, let me answer
You guys are
Let me
literally
answer you.
changing the topic. We're trying to identify
Let
why
me
men
answer you
foolishly act when they're
No,
in love.
let me answer you the way. Let me answer you the way you want it answered. Are there
No,
things
the
that
way
we
I
do
would have
as men?
expected to be answered.
Yes. Are there things that we do as men that are foolish because we're in love? And the answer is yes. Yeah, it is yes. And just to use the same example that somebody has given, you will pay rent because you're in love. Yeah. But like Gilbert is saying, nobody has forced you, number one. Yeah. And then you don't even know if that love will be returned just because you've paid rent. Others have gone ahead and bought cars. They have sold their family land for ladies. Yeah. They have quit their job and relocated because they are following a woman, and they get there and the woman vamooses, and then you're left wondering where did I, how do I start? So yes, we do foolish things as men, when we are in love. But then again, I say, and Gilbert brings out this clearly, there is no lesson that is just useless. What are you learning from this? My biggest problem is when you continuously do the foolish things over and over and over again because you're in love. Then you need to be.
Let me make this easier.
Make it clear then.
And I know people can bash it from different angles, but let me use the most easiest that everybody that will identify with, especially the Kenyan audience that we have. As I go to the comment section, the most common stupidity that a lot of Africans, and I mean Africans, myself included, and men in general, will do is, because of love, in the middle of 3 a.m. in the morning, where when they were busy, superhighway, unaelekea Ruiru, 3 in the morning, the other one will be sending fare, and they keep eating fare, and they promise you to come after Corona. But that fare will be eaten, and you'll send more fare. Those are the most common ones. But let's see what other people think about this. Diana says some people soon
So foolish.
Some become so foolish that he decides to spend money on a girl yet not sure about her. And that's a lady speaking. And then Sarah says, everybody has acted foolishly when it comes to matters love, but we learn and move on. Okay, that's where Gilbert feels good of himself. Thank you for helping Gilbert redeem himself, Sarah. Gilbert, you are avoiding the point we need to talk about. Unailenga.
Which is this point? Which is this point? Bring it out.
My friend, you can't compare rent and chips. And you can never do it for a crush or a friend unless you're deeply in love with her. And that was my point.
It depends on your pocket. It depends on your pocket.
Let me answer Gaddafi. You know your chips might be someone's rent. Your rent might be someone's coffee.
Yeah.
Depending with how deep your pocket is. So it socializes us into a class. There's someone who is paying 100,000 Kenya shillings rent for a lady somewhere. Do you know that someone's school fees for a year in a university?
Yeah.
So we are not the same.
That's the point I'm trying to identify, Gilbert. Sorry, Gilbert, to cut you short, but as you are paying that, because I want to feel it's an act of love, but at the same time, is it just kuna kaujinga kamengia so that when you go back to check your account, you're like, dude, I sent this much to this person, and I don't remember the last time I spent let's say $10 on my mom.
Eli nikuambia ujinga inakuja wapi hapo?
Niambie mali ujinga, because that's what I want to hear.
Ujinga ni uende uchukue 100,000 Kenya shillings loan, ulipie msichana rent, na hauna uwezo wa kulipa hiyo 100,000 Kenya shillings. Itabidi uibe, udanganye. Hapo hiyo ni ujinga. Kulipa sio ujinga. Ujinga ni act ya kwenda kuchukua pesa zenye unajua hata wewe mwenye hauwezi garamika. You spend outside your means to impress.
But if it's love,
if it's love, it must be within your means. Don't aim where you cannot reach. You approach this lady, unajua mahitaji yake, you can't take care of. Man, what are you doing there? Vamuse, the way James has said, I cannot take care of you, man. This is expensive. Msichana yeye lunch yake anakula Laiko Regency. Wewe Laiko Regency umesoma kwa gazeti. And you are seriously niko hapa.
But you're in love, man. You have to prove
you're not
the point.
In love. Yes, you're love.
That's what I call it, intoxication.
Yeah.
No. Let me help you guys. Let me help you.
Kuna ujinga na mapenzi.
No, let me help you guys. We are confusing two things earlier
Mm.
because we focus so much on love, and that's why you see we are conflicting. What you're talking about is infatuation. Yeah, that
Mm-hmm.
early stage of zero thought, zero rationale, zero. You're just infatuated with this woman, and that is
Yeah.
where you can take a loan and you'll walk at midnight going to her place, and that is the infatuation stage, and it doesn't last for long. You will do very many crazy things during a very short period, but I can promise you, you can't sustain that. It can't go on forever. It can't go on for 1 year. Yeah. So that is the
Which which
infatuation stage.
which planet do you come from, James? I'm finding it difficult to understand because have you heard of stories of men who have disappeared for years from their own homesteads? Hata mzazi hajaimuona for several years, amepotelea kwa mama huko Roysambu.
No, that is not love. That one we can debate here forever. That is not love.
Yeah.
There is more to it than love. And if
Than
it is
love.
love, yeah, and if it is love, then it is genuine love because you have decided. And you see, such scenarios you will mostly find they occur when other people around you are against that relationship. Yeah, especially for example, I don't want to name names. We've had cases where very young men
Mm-hmm.
fall in love with very old women, and society does not accept that. So what do? They elope from this society, and because whatever connection they are sharing with this woman is real to them, to the two of them, because again, remember, love is between two people. Nobody, no third party can interpret love to two people. Yeah. So at times, to run away from society, they will move away from their locality so that they can be together and do whatever they want.
So, as we have identified, it's factual that sometimes we stop using our brains and sometimes we use some heads that are not supposed to be functioning. How then do we come out of this madness, James? Because I'm reading here, and they are saying, heart in heart, you can even pay for someone's school fees, and then shoo, they go. And then James wants to tell you it was pocket change, and then Gilbert wants to defend it. You are not so. What else can you invest in a relationship except your emotion and your finances and your time? What more can you give?
So Eli, what do you want to invest in that relationship? Only sex?
No, sex will come as a package because it's a subscription, especially
So money
if you are
comes
in
in
an
as
exclusive relationship.
so money comes in as
And I want to tell you, money will, as you said, will oil the engine. So you cannot really, you cannot, bro.
Eli. Eli, I
Have you ever
asked.
been asked with a woman umeniletea nini? And
Eli,
you're
I have
wondering,
asked.
I've been
I
dating
have
you for all
asked
these years.
Eli.
I've been bringing you gifts every single day, but you've never told me,
Eli,
oh, unataka
Eli,
nini?
answer my question. Sex comes
He's
in
running.
as what?
Shoot it out. What is your question?
Sex comes in as what?
I've said sex, especially, and I'm very reserved using these words. It is for exclusive relationships, and in a marital in relationship, even better. But you cannot count it out because this has become almost the normal.
So you
Like you
can
told,
count out money.
you can count out money. So that's why they
Hmm.
shouldn't involve money in the transaction, if that's the case.
Eli, you want to define what should be there and what should not be there in a relationship. You
I don't
want
know who thinks different, but let's see what they say.
and
Send
and
in your
and you
comments
want
in the
to
comment section.
and you want to define how much you should. What Eli? Let us take for example. What if it was opposite?
It has never
What?
happened. That's the problem.
No, I'm asking you, Eli. What if it was opposite? Them spending on us.
Listen,
Eli,
and
answer my
I
question.
want to answer you. Why would you not give
This
me an
is a
opportunity to
complicated
defend my thesis?
conversation.
Yeah,
Why you
what
guys,
if
Gilbert?
it
Why
was
don't you let
them
me to defend my
spending on
thesis?
you?
Listen, I want to make it very categorical, Gilbert, that most of the time, I
Mm,
didn't say all the time, so
mm.
I'm again using my words very sparingly. you will find that in a relationship,
Uh,
the man tends to give the leadership, like we said in our previous relationships. He decides where the relationship goes. And most of the time, he's looked up to as a provider in that relationship. So, this part you say, what if they're the one doing oiling the engine with the finances? It's a very small percent, and most of the time, they cannot sustain it for long.
Ellie,
Okay,
I
that is
want
part
you.
one of my answer. Part two, wewe Gilbert unakuja na mbio sana leo. Sijui unaenda kufanya studies ya nini leo. You came with your Mwakenya like that. Number two, if we were to allow that debate to go the way you're bringing it, then I will ask you one thing, Gilbert.
Mm.
How many of them are willing to spend that much? Because unajua umeongea the direct expenditure in terms of money, right? I want to talk in terms of your time. You know, take your time off from work, spend money, especially for you who is in the US now, take your ticket, go to Kenya or whatever place it is, go visit your girlfriend. And during that time, you're not being paid. During that time, no money coming in, but you're spending, and they expect you to spend as equal as the time you're always working. How many can sustain that? So you cannot rule out the fact that it is an investment. It is an
You
investment.
see,
Allow James to come in.
no, it is true what you're saying. It is an investment, but also let's not forget that it is by nature, it is the role of the man to woo the woman. Yeah.
Mhm.
It is the role of the man to chase. In one of these shows, we've talked about man being the one who chases. Yeah.
Mhm.
And when you're wooing, you're out to impress. Even in normal, now forget about this foolishly in love. Even in normal relationships, you will find that at the initial stage, when you're trying to impress this woman, there will be finances that will be used. You will not call this woman and go and sit at a bench somewhere and just watch birds fly day in, day out. There
They
has
will
to be
get
some.
tired of the birds.
They will get tired of the birds. So there has to be some form
Bro,
of investment. Yeah. Now,
I,
what we are, wait, Ellie. What we are trying to differentiate is now the foolish spending. Yeah.
mm,
Because there is normal spending, which is expected, but then there is the overboard. Yeah. Which again, now we might, again, if I'm trying very hard to avoid psychology, but you'll find that at times, for such men who go out spending extravagantly on a woman, they are covering some deficiencies within themselves. They are using money to cover some deficiency. Yeah. So probably I don't have the ile lugha. I don't have lugha. So what do? Chop money. So I don't have to talk.
bro,
Yeah.
I think you never
Then-
spend enough until unajiuliza what was wrong with your head.
But that happens all the
Misari
day, all the
check.
time.
And I love the fact that weekly VC, I don't know if you can help me out, but of course, it's a very, again, a fact of giving out philanthropically. But are you surprised that people are coming out with the Stingy Men Association kind of movements, quote unquote?
What
Are you
is
surprised,
nonsense?
Gilbert? It's
That is
nonsense. Go ahead.
nonsense. What is
Define the
that
nonsense.
thing? What is that thing called Stingy Men Association? We are men. We are the leaders. We give direction. We work. The Bible is clear. Men, you will work to take care of our family, and that expects spending. Why are you working then? If you're married, why are you working? Why you have plans? Because we are providing leadership, and spending is part of it. How you spend it, that's your problem. But we are bound to spend early. How you spend it, I've said, it's a definition of you and your money. But we are bound. You can't be in a relationship which you can't spend early. Show me that relationship, and I will show you one of those unthriving relationships association. We are in that relationship. We are bound to spend. How you spend, it's totally upon you. But let's not complain, man, that ladies nowadays. Who told us that our mothers and grandmothers were not demanding? Who told us that? We are born of these families. Where are we getting these traits? We are just based on the family we grow in. And based on what is surrounding us. So I can say we have those who have deviant characters. Really, we can't say we rule out because we are living in a full society where you'll have the full positive and some who have deviant characters, of course. But we can't generalize by saying that all are. When we say so, we are putting a name on ladies, which is not good. So those who have not and those who are there, they will go in with the mind that wanawake wanakuanga hivi. You see, before hata umiti mmoja, wewe tayari uko single na tayari unaongeanga every time wanawake wanakuanga hivi. Pata mmoja akufunze lesson. As we said, in those relationships, those are learning fields. We learn from it. If you went there and you learned something, you are patient to continue being there, or it was enough for you to move on. And when you moved on, if you move into another relationship, you move with one lesson. Kama ulilipa rent na ukachezwa, ukienda next uko na reason ya kusema siwezi lipa rent.
Utalipa rent tena.
Uko na reason. Sasa kama learn, ungepata wapi the lesson Eli? Hii experiences zinatupa lessons in life, but we are very afraid of lessons. Mimi sita petition tupate loan, mimi nita petition tupate loan, tujue how to spend. Vile tuna spend, it's up to us, not stopping the loan. That is what I will say. So if we are men enough, we should not stop the loan. We should restructure our spending.
Fine, fair enough. I will allow them to come with his closing remarks just before I do this. Again, I think tonight Gilbert and Gaddafi are like this, head to head. Let's start with Gaddafi's comment. He says, Gilbert, avoid biblical illusions here. Don't act. You just drop from heaven. You don't know all this useless. I mean, you don't know all this unless you have never experienced it. You don't know what you're talking about. But again, Gilbert earlier on gave a disclaimer. He has been through it and learned out something out of it. When a man refuses to give a lady 5K urgently, all of a sudden he's called a stingy guy. Yes, Gilbert, there are people who are always having urgent problems. Their gas just came to a sudden stop, or their rent just never got paid for some particular reason. I don't know what you say about them.
Eli, why are you attracting people with urgent problems?
Let me address that, Eli, and start by that stingy men's association. You see, I think it's a pseudo. It's something fictitious, yeah, but it is a movement because of what men are experiencing. I can tell you, for example, accept a friend request today on Facebook of a beautiful lady, and chat her to 2 days. By the third day, she will tell you, by the way, niko na ka emergency, can you loan me 2,000? This is somebody who you do not know, you've never met. Yeah. So women,
and you're not planning to do anything with them.
Exactly. So women have also turned us into ATM machines. They think because I look all pretty and dull and attractive, then this man, for her to be my friend, then he has no right to. You've seen that comment. You asked for 5K, you say no, and you're termed stingy. Why the hell would you give somebody, a stranger, 5K? It's the same with a friend. If my friend came and asked me, do you have 5K? I told him no, and I have 10K in my pocket, but I have other plans, then they should understand. But these ladies are coming with this mentality that if I ask, for example, who said that it is our role to make hair? Because a woman will tell you, my hair is bad, Ebony pay 2K, I want to make my hair. Why the hell should I care? Shave it for all I care.
I think Gilbert cares. Maybe he can give his closing remark on the same. Gilbert, will you give the 5K to a stranger who just suddenly had a problem and they need to fix it urgently?
I asked before you shifted to James. Why should you be attracting people who have urgent problems?
Problem.
It starts from there. If you attract the wrong things, you are bound to have funny experiences in those relationships. Yeah, so strategically place yourself that you attract people who add value in your life, man. Ellie, you can't be attracting every Tom, Dick, and Harry, and then you complain after they have taught you a lesson. Some of them come in our life to teach us lessons. Some of them come
Bro,
to put us in our
I don't
lanes,
know what you ate
man.
for breakfast, but
Gilbert,
I don't like what you
I
took
love
for
it.
breakfast.
No, Gilbert, I love it that today we are the ones who are telling Ellie what to do. Today, this is not his
Yeah.
show. Whatever he had planned, it's not going up to plan.
You know what, guys? We're gonna never have enough of this conversation, but I'm happy we made it. Let's quickly thank everybody that was on the show tonight. I will start all the way down. Jakita is laughing out loud. Thank you so much for joining. Saran Jones just says, "It is you who turned yourself into ATM machines, James. If you decided to give generously, acha kuweka blame on them. Stop shifting the blames." And we have Zaina who says, no matter what love is doing to you, please don't pay his or her school fees before you pay her bride price. Okay, sorry for another day, but
That one
makes a
doesn't
lot of
even work. You'll
sense.
pay bride price and she'll still go. Bride price is nothing.
Bride price is becoming almost obsolete. Okay,
Yeah.
obsolete. And we have Vivi who says, I also think Stingy Men Association is a defense mechanism to cope with the societal pressure they face that they should be the ones providing for equally broke girls. Before you call me stingy and you want to call me all sort of names, just tell me what you spent on me the last time we met. That's what I'll call it. Gilbert, as you finish your your address to the nations tonight, what do you want to say from the Oklahoma Capitol?
Let me address men from today.
Yes, you're on full screen.
Cut your coat according to your size. If you are willing to engage, be ready to be soiled.
Okay,
Hey,
James.
this guy is so philosophical today, man. What did you do to Gilbert? Alright. All right. My closing remarks. Again, do not spend what you do not have. When you're falling in love, money does not equate to love. It is okay to spend on a lady. Do not go out of your way. Do not be foolish, as the topic says. Do not be foolish about it. It is absolutely okay to spend on a lady. It is absolutely okay to pay rent. It is absolutely okay to do all those things, but within limits. You do not go out of your way. And if you're spending, do not spend because you expect some return back. Why would you send fare, by the way? I can't understand these men who send fare. And then inakuliwa afu unatuma tena. What the hell is that? If you
Because they
want the
were
girl,
caught in between curfew and coming to your place.
no. Hapo sasa ndio nani anakuuliza Gilbert, who are these people you are meeting? These are fishy characters.
You know,
If a lady wants to come, she will come. So don't kill yourself sending fare and
so dear
crying
girlfriends,
about
if you're broke, Gilbert has said tonight, find your equal. Cut your
yes.
coats according to your sizes. Date your broke guys. If you come to me, be ready to pay for your coffee. And if I pay for your
Yes.
coffee, it's just a complimentary to you. Thank you so much, Zena Hussein. I think she's closing the discussion tonight as she says, Utaniambia unanipenda on the 15th. You cannot tell me you love me on the 15th. And by 16th January, you're asking me money to go to the salon or to the barber shop. Please, I'm not a bank. You need money? Go sell your inheritance. Thank you so much, Zena. That is tough. And Wycliffe, again, thank you so much for coming to the show. Adin Hartley says, Gilbert, this is a wow and laugh effect on his face. For everybody that turned out to the show, thank you so much. Remember, tomorrow I'm hanging out with Wanyo Kabiji K. Kamau. And you know what's coming your way. The red flags. We've talked about money here tonight and how foolish we can get But how do you look out for the red flags? Stay tuned tomorrow with Nyokabi GK Kamau, same place, same time, from 9:30 p.m. Central European Time, rather, that's African time, and 8:30 p.m. Central European Summer Time. See you tomorrow. It's been a pleasure hosting you, and my name, as always, is Likuyani Eli James. That is all the way in Nairobi, Kenya, psychologist and human science development researcher Gilbert Makomere. Thank you so much, gentlemen. See you next week.